Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we will learn about the poem All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. This poem is taken from Standard 10th English textbook. So come, let's understand what it says. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's prominent dramatist. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. This poem is taken from his play As You Like It. Here he compares the world to a stage where the drama of human life is enacted. The poem says that all of us are actually actors who are partaking in a bigger play, that is life. And there are 7 stages that all of us have to undergo. Now let's do the first part of the poem. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His acts being 7 ages, at first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Now, here the poet begins with a metaphor that all the world's a stage. It means he is directly saying the world is a stage and that the people, both men and women, are players playing their given role. The line they have exits and their entrances means that every person has to undergo the process of life. That is, exits talk about death and entrances talk about life. And that a person, though one, has many parts to play in his time. It refers to he or she has different roles as they are crossing each milestone in their life. And the poet specifically mentions that there are 7 ages, we could say stages, in which he plays his part. He describes the first stage as infancy, where the child is mewling. Now, mewling means crying and puking in the arms of its nurse. This is the age where the little human is helpless and needs utmost care. He needs to be fed, to be carried, he needs to be bathed, etc., etc. Now, this is the next part of the poem. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. The words then the tells us that now the little human has progressed to the next stage, the second stage, which is that of a schoolboy. Here the words whining schoolboy displays the boy's pain and frustration in going to school. Here the word whining means to make an annoying, high-pitched crying sound. Now, with his satchel means with his school bag. But the poet says that unlike his feelings, his face has the look of a morning sunshine. The boy looks fresh and glowy. Now, this is the stage, an educational stage of his life, where he has to learn and go to school, but he becomes cranky when he has to leave for school. The next stage, and then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. The poem moves to the third stage, which is that of a passionate lover. The imagery of sighing like furnace depicts his intense emotions. The woeful ballad means the lover expresses his feelings through poetry or music. The other stage is that of a soldier. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. This fourth stage is that of a soldier. This stage is characterized by bravery and recklessness. Bravery and recklessness means who does not worry about taking risks, and he has a strong sense of honor. In this stage, honor and pride hold importance for a man more than his own life. At this stage, the man cannot compromise or trade his honor with anything. He is jealous in honor means this. Now, the words sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth, means he will fight if needed, to keep his reputation, even if he has to face any danger. This is the next stage. And then the justice, in fair round belly, with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. At this stage, the man is over matured and he is a middle-aged man. The poet calls this stage as the stage of justice. In fair round belly with good capon lined tells us that the man has earned and is living in his prosperity. He has reached a stage where he does not have to produce any work. The lines, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, tells us that he looks experienced and polished. Full of wise saws and modern instances means he is full of wisdom, and now he has come to a stage where he can advise others who are younger to him. He can advise them from the experiences that he learnt while facing his life. The line, and so he plays his part, means and so he can play his role as a judge in guiding his children and his younger siblings and helping them to take decisions, and younger ones can come to him for direction and discernment. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful horse, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Now, the sixth stage, that is of an old man. The lines, into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, displays a descriptive imagery of an old man. The poet in the further lines says, in the lines, his youthful horse, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, it talks about the man who was strong and healthy in his youth, and right now he has grown thin and weak. The pants that he used to wear were young when he was young, had given him a lot, now has given him a lot of space, as right now he's become thin, so the pants have now become loose. That's why the poet says, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank. Now the poet goes further, describing the manly voice of the man, which has now become like the voice of a child. That is why the poet says, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish treble. The lines, pipes and whistles in his sound show the weakness in his voice, where pipes refer to musical pipes and the whistle describes a sharp breathy sound. The last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. This is the last part of the poem where the poet describes the last scene of the man. The poet describes it as an eventful history where the old man returns back to his childlike dependence. That is why the poet calls this stage as his second childishness. Now, mere oblivion means the man has now become forgetful or vanishing from the world. The word sans here means without. So the poet says that this man is now just like a newborn child, without teeth, without sight, without taste, and without everything, as he loses all things before death. So what is the rhyme scheme of this poem? The poet does not have a rhyme scheme because it is written in a blank verse. All the World's a Stage, written by Shakespeare, is a beautiful poem taking us through the stages of life. The stage, some of which have passed, the stages, some of which we are in the present, and the stages that we will one day be in. One thing that we can learn from here is that no matter in which stage we are in right now, we have got to make the most of it. So live your life to the fullest, learn, ask questions, don't be discouraged, don't give up easily, and if need be, never shy from seeking help. This was all for now. See you in the next video. Till then, stay blessed, stay curious, and always keep learning.